What's up, guys? So back out here working on the 99 again. I've already kind of gotten started on this, but I'm just going to show you where I'm at, what I've found. I don't know if you guys remember, but after doing headers, I had a pretty nasty exhaust leak on the 99 and it sounded really bad. So let me show you, I'm working on that now, but let me show you what I've got. Okay, so this is what we've got going on. This is the factory resonator, which I just sawzalled off here at the end. But there's a seam right here, and it is leaking all the way down this seam. You can see right here, if you look up in there, this is broken completely open, and it's just pouring out right there. So I unbolted it. This flange was all warped and stuff too. And I bought the replacement piece for that. I would love to do a performance cat back, but right now I just paid for a bunch of other parts and I just can't do that. But I need to stop this leak so that it doesn't affect my tuning when I go to do that. So this is the Walker resonator replacement. And because of a little bit of a length difference, I did have to weld this little extension on. So let me show you guys that too. This is my new Lincoln Electric Handy MIG I just picked up. It is in flux core mode right now. I don't have a bottle of gas for it or anything yet. But if you look at this weld, that's honestly not bad to be flux core. I'm really surprised it welds as well as it does. It's a good welder though. So I've got this piece in here. Next thing I'm going to do now is go get that back in there. And then I'll show you where I did the repair and how I did the repair. But if you've got a weird exhaust leak in the middle section of the exhaust, this is definitely worth looking at because it looks like these things rusting out is pretty common. This is a North Carolina car and always has been. So this isn't even like a salt belt issue. And just a quick little extra note. If you look at this incoming pipe here, it's clearly 2¼ inches, which is what it's published as being, the whole midsection. Then if you look here, it looks pinched, and I can confirm if you look back here where I cut it, it snakes down to only a 2-inch opening. So there's a weird bottleneck right here after this resonator. So just something I thought I would note. Okay, so this is what the final product looks like. Everything is done. I welded it into the new piece. The welds are not quite as pretty, but as you can see, I didn't have much clearance. We are just barely off the ground. But this resonator looks like a nicer piece than the factory one. This style will be less likely to break because there's no seam. So, only thing there is left to do now is crank it up and see how it sounds. But before I do that, also just want to point out for the record, I have moved the wideband oxygen sensor to up here. And I moved the factory O2 sensor down where the wideband was. I'm hoping that that's going to work better. Because this one, actually the sensor that came with my gauge actually failed right away. It only worked for about 1 day. I didn't even get a chance to do any tuning, but this new one is in and is working correctly right now. So hopefully it'll hold up pretty good. So anyway, let's see what it sounds like. So this will be a 99 GTP with Speed Daddy headers, factory exhaust, and magnifoil muffling. So with that repair out of the way, I'm pretty much ready to get this tune sorted so I can move on to the next series and the next performance mods we're going to be doing. But just a quick recap of a couple important things that did happen today. One, this factory resonator is a piece of junk. It is split halfway down the seam, was leaking terribly, and is just way heavier than the factory one, so glad to have that out of here. Two, this Lincoln welder is awesome. I got this thing, if I remember correctly, from Lowe's for about $350, and it has been 100% worth it. Being that I'm using it in flux core mode right now, I don't expect completely beautiful welds, and as a matter of fact, I thought I wouldn't get very good welds, but if you saw in the video earlier, they're pretty good, and it welds really, really well. I mean, it welds almost as good as the MIG welder we had at the shop I used to work at. So I'm pretty happy with it in general. So there'll be lots more welding and fabrication to come. As a matter of fact, I'm working on a few extra pieces of equipment coming into the shop, and well, the Pontiac, and trying to expand what I'm able to do. So I'll show you guys that stuff as it shows up. I know there wasn't a whole lot going on in this video, but just sorted out a few things so the car is ready to go. The next video on this one will either be the tuning video, or I've got to put a rack in it soon. So that actually may be the next video on this one. I don't know. But thank you so much for watching. If you hung in to here, thank you. And make sure you drop me a like on this video. Make sure that you drop me a comment, let me know what you thought, or if you have any comments on anything. And make sure you're subscribed so you can see the next video. See you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching, and peace.